Well, happy Halloween, my friends. Kevin the Comic Doctor coming to you with another live CGC unboxing on this Halloween Day 2023. This is a pre-recorded CGC unboxing, my friends, because today is not only Halloween, but it's also my birthday. So I figured I'd come on here and do a pre-recorded unboxing. I'm trying to do these weekly. We did it last Tuesday. I'm doing it again which Tuesday today, Halloween Day. Kind of keep that rhythm going. How you doing, guys? I'm Kevin the Comic Doctor. I'm a comic book presser. I'm also an authorized CGC dealer located way up in Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. And like I said, the ghosts are around or things are falling down. Like I said, this is a live CGC unboxing. And CGC is that company located in Sarasota, Florida, where comic book enthusiasts all over the world send their books to get graded. They grade them, they assign a grade to the books so that owners will know their value and a third-party opinion as to what the grade of that comic book actually is, which will help if it ever comes time to sell that book. We got 2 boxes tonight, guys. More boxes are on the way, so if you love looking at what's hot in the world of comic books, you are in the right place. I sure hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel, liking that comment. We usually have a live chat here as well. Tonight, we will not have a live chat, but I do encourage you to go down to our comment section and comment on any of the books that you see today. And if you have any questions for me, I'll be sure to answer them at a later time. Okay, let's get started, guys. What do we got for week? Well, the first box, I believe, are a group of pre-screens. So right off the bat, we start with a 9.8 pre-screen, obviously, a Spawn number 298. Let's see what else we got here. Pretty heavy box. We also have a 9.8 copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 4. I'm still checking for any cracks that might be in the slab. Also, we have a copy of Quasar, number 14. This is an early Todd McFarlane cover. Nice cover, and a 9.8 as well. We have an Amazing Spider-Man 328. Again, a Todd McFarlane cover. Art as well. Cover and art, yes. And this is a really popular Hulk cover here. Okay, what else do we have? Lots of books. Two full boxes. And more on the way, guys. Like I said, there are books heading. I think I'm going to be receiving more books tomorrow or Wednesday. X Factor number 50 and a 9.8. What else do we have here? Oh, nice. Very nice. Daredevil 183. First meeting of Daredevil and Punisher. Bang. 9.8 white pager. That is a great book to have in a 9.8. That is for sure. We also have one of my all-time favorites here, Web of Spider-Man number 1, also in a 9.8. There is 1 or 2 rejects in here. I'm not sure how many, but we've got a good load so far of 9.8s. Another 298, also in a 9.8, which is nice to see. I'm going to try to do one more. As you can see, my stack is getting high. This is the moment, this is the time when I would go to the chat section and talk with you guys because, like I said, my stack gets pretty high. I bag them back up and I go over to the chat room. But there's no chat room today, so I'll just talk about, I don't know, we'll find other things to talk about. Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 6 and a 9.8. There you go. I know what I can do. While I'm packing these up, I'll tell you a ghost story. How's that sound? Just to celebrate Halloween. Why not? Never thought about that. It's a good idea. I got a couple I could tell you. Okay, this box, this one here is, we're still halfway through, guys. We got 2 boxes tonight. Halfway through this one. Again, it's a pre-recorded episode, so I am going to tell you a ghost story while I pack these babies up. All right, this one here goes back a few years. It takes place in my classroom at school. And every year, especially my drama classes, give the kids a chance to talk, to practice their public speaking. So tell us a ghost story. And of course, I tell a few ghost stories myself. Anyways, during this one actual ghost story session, I was telling the story, and in my classroom, I should have like spooky music and like lights and stuff, but I don't have it. I was telling a story, and I had a couple of candles going. I had red lights on from the drama room. We had these red overhead lights, obviously spotlights. Had those on very dim. And then I had a couple of candles hooked up or on, I should say. And the candle, that in that direction had already gone out. And there was a candle right over my head, right here. And this candle was still going. And I just started kind of crinkling. Candles sometimes reach the end of their life and they start kind of going out. Well, anyways, this candle was kind of crinkling and making these weird noises. And so I stopped my ghost story telling and I looked over at the candle. It was right over my head. It was on a platform. It was props that were over here. It was on a platform. I got a table, a high table. And I looked over at it and it kind of just went out. I said, okay, whatever. Kept telling my story. And then about 3 seconds later, went back on again. And that just gave me the chills. So I looked over at the candle and I got the chills. Behind the hairs, the back of my neck kind of stood up. And I said to my students, and I had a whole group of students in front of me, like 30, 40 kids, in front of me. I said, I don't know about you guys, but I don't think we're alone. And I look over at the candle, and the candle just all of a sudden moves about 4 or 5 inches right beside my face, moves over. And I'm like, that didn't just happen. And so I'm trying to figure out what's going on there, right? The lights are all off. I look over at my students, and 3 or 4 of them were like, look at the candle, and they were like, so they saw it too. At that point, man, my Lord, I got up. I jumped into my students. I freaked right out. They all freaked out. It was absolute anarchy. The lights went on. They all said, Mr. Polidano, you tricked us. You were telling us, you told us, you did that. You rigged it. I said, go check it. I didn't rig anything. There was no, it was absolute craziness. That was the wildest experience I ever had telling ghost stories, because I'll tell you, that room that I used to be in, I'm not teaching that room anymore. I work close to that room, but I always, if I'd be working in that room by myself, I'd always feel like I'm seeing shadows in that room. Like, there's a big space, right? And I'd see, like, be working on something. I'd see something. I feel like I'm seeing something going by all the time. But I mean, I never thought anything of that. But it wasn't until that candle move that I realized, you know what? There is an energy in this classroom. And I don't want to experience that again. It really freaked me out. The kids were all freaked out. We were all freaked out. So there you go. That's one ghost story for you. I hope I can go with another one before we're done with this next batch. All right. So there we go. Ghost story number 1. Here we go. Next one. Oh, Spawn number 300. It's obviously a cover swap from ASM 300. And a 9.8. Gotta love that. Then we also have a Spider-Man number 1 in a 9.8 silver edition. Wow, these are all 9.8s. Nothing wrong with that. We got a Spider-Man number 2, number 1, also in a 9.8. Again, I don't recall if these are all pre-screens. It'd be nice if I could have my invoice, which, again, the invoices are sometimes there and sometimes not. We got a Spider-Man number 7, or 163, first appearance of Spider-Boy in a 9.8 white pager. So we got a nice modern 9.8s here. And let's face it, guys, if we're dealing with modern books, we want 9.8s, don't we? Oh, you know what? Nothing wrong with one of those. Nothing wrong with 2 as well. Okay, this is ringing a bell as to whose books these might be. There should be a couple more doubles in here as well, if I remember correctly. Nice, 9.8. Again. Whose are these books? I have such a hard time remembering everyone's books. There's too many of you out there. 9.8 again. Let me pack these. You know what? I'm gonna finish these ones off this way. Let me just get the. Hold on a second. My board's right here. What do we got here? All right. These ones are gonna show you just like this. We have Spawn 301 in a 9.8. That way I can get right through the finish this box off. Then we have, and I think it's like a full box of. Oh wow, Gwen Stacy. Edge of Spider-Verse, first Spider-Gwen, 9.8 as well. Beautiful. The slabs are all looking really nice so far as well. All right, Ultimate Fallout 4 in a 9.8. And I think it's a first print as well. These have been coming down in price as well. Everything's been coming down in price, haven't they, guys? What else we have here? A Wolverine, Wolverine 155 with Deadpool. Also in a 9.8. Gorgeous. And an Amazing Spider-Man 17. Or 911. Also in a 9 point. This has got to be a full box of pre-screens because they're all 9/8. Almost 23. I think it's 23. I don't believe these are Chris's. I'm not sure who these are. 23 or 24 9/8. Gotta love that. Captain America 276. 9.8. And then moving right along, another one in a 9/8 there. There's the second one of those. And then we've got an Infinity Incorporated number 14, first Todd McFarlane published cover, and second full Todd McFarlane story right there in a 9.8 white pager as well. So whoever this order is, congratulations. That was one hell of a nice submission, eh? That was almost a full box of 9/8. Which you don't see all that often, but you know what? When it happens, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. All right, let me put these guys back. While I'm doing that, I'll think of another story here to tell you. Here's a good one. So when my wife and I were starting to go look for our first home together, and this is a quick one. We went look at this place in Oshawa. In East Oshawa, I believe. Our real estate agent took us there at the time. And we get there, and the owner of the house is sitting outside smoking. Very kind of jittery, and he's smoking a cigarette. And we're like, okay, whatever. Go on in. We get into the house. The place is empty. The living room's empty. Walk into the kitchen. It's empty. Everything's been cleared out. Okay, no problem. The owner's there. Kind of strange. Usually owners aren't there when you go to look at a house. But this particular owner was. And so we went throughout the main floor, empty. We go upstairs, bedroom 1, empty. Bedroom 2, empty. Bathroom, 1, pretty much empty. And then we go into the back bedroom. We open the door, and there's a bed, tons of clothing, a hot plate, a small refrigerator, a little TV, and all this is crammed into one bedroom. Kind of weird, kind of strange. Okay, no problem. So we finished looking around. The place is very dated. It's like very 80s, right? I'm not picking up on anything other than the fact that the owner being all jittery was kind of strange. And the fact all of his clothes and belongings were shoved into a small bedroom upstairs. Other than that, nothing really out of the ordinary. So the agent goes, do you want to see the basement? I said, yeah, of course. Let's go downstairs. Since we're here, let's go. So we had to go through the kitchen to get to the basement. The agent goes down. My wife was going behind him. Or behind her, actually. And as she goes, she goes, no, I'm not going. I said, well, go down. We're here. She goes, no, I'm not going downstairs. I go, why not? She goes, nope. And she left. So that was kind of weird. So I went downstairs. Nothing to brag about. Whatever. And we leave. We say goodbye to the owner. He's like, yeah, no problem. He's smoking a cigarette still. We get in the car. My wife's like, forget about it. That place is creepy. I got a bad feeling in that place. When you guys went downstairs, I just was all cold. I don't want to be in there. So whatever. It's okay. No problem. We're not putting an offer on this house, obviously. So anyways, about 3 or 4 days go by, and the agent comes by to pick us up to go look at some more houses. So we're driving off to look at some more houses. And then she goes, oh my gosh. She says to us, remember that house you looked at last time? We're like, yeah. She goes, the owner dropped the price by $50,000 and has disclosed the place is haunted. Boom. Crazy. Nutty, isn't it? So yeah, my wife picked up on that. Not a psychic or anything like that, but she picked up on the energy of the house, I guess. So there you go. Another spooky story. There was no friggin'. There was no, what do you call it? Submission form. Like there's usually an invoice. There was no invoice. Let's see if it's with these books. That's really irritating when they do that. Yeah, and there's no, oh wait. Oh yeah. They put the submission form in here. Duh. So that was 24 books out of 25. All pre-screen moderns, 24 out of 25 come back 9.8. And 1 was rejected. Pretty cool. All right, so there you go. That's box number 1. All 9.8s. Happy Halloween. Let's see what we got next. Now this one, this box here, we have several orders. Lots of invoices on the top, right? So let's get right to it. First book. Oh boy, they're in there tight. Oh wait, I think we got some more pre-screens. Ugh. When you see a box like that, that means you got pre-screens. So we probably have some pre-screens in this order. It doesn't mean the whole order. I don't think the whole order is pre-screen, but we do have a few. This one feels slightly heavier, so obviously some more were rejected. But a lot of people are opting to go with the pre-screen route. You pay a small fee for them to pre-screen the book, and you're paying for shipping and all that too. You're still on the hook for something, but you're not paying the full amount if the book's not getting the 9.8. Let's face it, with a lot of modern books, you don't want to be, if they're not 9.8, their value is really, really not there, right? A lot of modern books, if they get 9.8, they actually have some value, right? All right, let's get right to it. Well, you know what? I've been spoiled. That whole last box spoiled me, and I think we're being spoiled again. We have a 9.8 X-Men number 4, first appearance of Omega Red. All right. We also have, and again, I don't know if these are the pre-screens or these are a different order. No, these aren't pre-screens, obviously. We've got a Wolverine newsstand edition of limited series number 1 and a 9.4, a book we see quite frequently here. We also have a 9.6 Vengeance of Bane. White pager. That's all. Usually, we get really good luck with this Vengeance of Bane. Usually they're 9.8. This one's a 9.6. Well, what can I say? You win some, you lose some. Star Wars, number 1, in an 8.5. Right there. Again, guys, this is box number 2. That's all we have today is 2 boxes. And then we're back on probably early next week with another couple of boxes, perhaps even more. I'm going to try to make this a Tuesday tradition here. You know, we have Something is Killing the Children number 1 and a 9.8. And another one, and this one is the Diamond Retailer edition of Something is Killing the Children, also in a 9.8. These have not been at CGC very long. Books are coming back usually within 4 weeks. Now this looks familiar. Macros number 1, 9.6. And Mega Man number 3 in a 9.8. First Lobo, obviously. I'm going to put some of these off to the side so we can kind of try to make this efficient. We also have a Moon Knight number 1 in a 9.4. That stack is a little high, so I'm just going to try to do try to get half the books done before I swap over. We have a Killing Joke, no number, Killing Joke in a 9.8. With the Killing Joke and books like this that have that thick cardboard cover, we do not press it unless it's absolutely necessary. And most of the time, people submit ones that are really quite pristine. If the book has some issues, we can do work on this book. But I'm going to be honest, they don't take to a press as nicely as, say, something like this would, right? The card stock makes it a little more difficult. There's a little more to it than just simply, pressing it. We also have a Moon Knight, Mark Spector Moon Knight number 36 and a 9.6. And we'll put all those back in here. We'll do a couple more. We'll do another ghost story. Gotta think of another one. Venom number 1, Lethal Protector in a 9.6. That's just a red cover. Looks like the black cover there. Oh, it's a black variant. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's the red one. It's the red one. And we have a Grendel number 1 and a 9.0. We had a few Grendels in this order, if I can recall correctly. We have a Sandman. Oh, a Sandman number 198 green label, but that's okay. It's okay. It's got a signature. It's got Sweet Dreams and Neil Gaiman's signature at the bottom there. Nothing wrong with that, man. I'll take the 9.8 green. Thank you very much. That's awesome. I don't care. That to me is fantastic. Good. That's awesome. Wonderful. Wonderful. We also have Something Is Killing the Children 9.6. It's another variant cover right there. 9.6. All right. I'm going to put these guys away and think of another story I can tell you. Let me think. Here's a very quick story. And I don't know, it's not really spooky, I guess, but when I was 4 years old, my parents decided to move back to Malta. So we all moved back, my brother, sister, and myself. And my dad started getting back into his old hobbies, one of which was fishing. He loved to fish, and fishing is a big thing in Malta, especially in the town in which we lived. And he used to make nets. My father would actually create nets to go fishing. And one night, I remember this clearly. I was sitting at the dining table, at the kitchen table, I guess. It wasn't a very big apartment. It was an apartment complex we were staying in when we first got there. He bought some property, and he hadn't started building on it yet. So we were in an apartment. And he was sitting there, like either mending a net or creating a net, and he put down. And basically, the tool he was using to make this net was kind of like a fat pen. It was like a fatter pen, and it had a spike that stuck out, like a needle that stuck out of it. And I remember he put it down on the table. He put it down. He laid it on the table right in front of me. And I remember this, guys. I remember this like it was yesterday, clear as day. He put it down, and I saw that friggin' utensil, that tool, leave the table. Just leave the table, go across the room, and into my sister's thigh, into her leg, who was sitting on the couch, you know, they're doing homework or something like that, or doing whatever. And she, why'd you throw that at me? And whatever. It's like, what the hell? I saw it, man. I saw that thing fly off the table. And the weird thing is, that place we lived in, I saw their stuff too in that place. And I remember I turned 5 years old, then we ended up coming back to Canada, shortly thereafter. But I used to have the worst nightmares in that place. And I remember waking up once, and I shared a room with my brother. My brother and I shared a room, and I remember waking up once, and there were like, ghosts everywhere, all over the room. I remember, and it just terrified me. And I remember when I left out of my bed, when I had the courage to get out of my bed and run to my parents' room, and I couldn't get them out of my mind. I remember I was like hysterical. Anyways, I was very happy to leave that place, obviously. And I'll tell you, whenever I go back to Malta, and I've been there a few times since I was a little kid, even just a few years. I was there actually last year. I was there visiting my uncle. If you recall, I had to go to Malta to see my uncle who was very ill. And I walked by that apartment, man, and it just gives me the heebie-jeebies. That apartment, it's still there. It's still standing. It's not in great shape. But boy, oh boy, I was tempted to knock on the door and see who was in there. I just want to go walk through it again and see if it was exactly as I remembered it, because I know the whole setup of that place, but I saw weird stuff in that place, and yeah, what's that all about? Anyways, that's the last ghost story I'm telling, because I have no more time, but I do have more books to show you, so don't go anywhere. Let's see, we're going to continue. We have about 8 or so more books. And if you're getting here just now, my friends, again, this is box number 2. So if you didn't catch the first box, you're going to want to go back and check it out, because there's a lot. It was a great pre-screen order that was quite successful. All right, next we have a Grendel number. What number is this? Number 3? Oh, sorry, Grendel number 3. Cerebus the Aardvark number 3. Sorry, in a 9.6. We have another Cerebus book. This one is number 4. And you know what? A 9.8. Gotta love that. You don't see that too often. We also have another Something Is Killing the Children. This one is a number 1, and this one is also a 9.8. Come on, get in there. Get on there. And we have a Amazing Spider-Man number 238, first appearance of the Hobgoblin, with the tattoos in a 9.6. Right there. Giant size X-Men #1. I hope it's in good shape. 9.4. There you go. Not bad. Gotta like those beautiful big books with big grades. 9.4 right there. Look at that. I believe that's Brian's book. What the hell? Yeah. Okay. Wow, we got some more nice grades. We got a 9.4 copy of Daredevil 158. First Frank Miller, Daredevil. We've got a Wolverine 88. First crossover between Daredevil and Deadpool, I believe. Is it? Or maybe I'm wrong. It doesn't say that. It says Deadpool. Maybe it's Deadpool Wolverine. I thought it was the first time they met, but I could be wrong. Daredevil Wolverine cover anyway. I think it's the first of that, and that's a 9.6. We also have an 8.5 copy of X-Men 120. First appearance of Alpha Flight. A nice copy there. Nice and clean. And you know what? I always like ending these with 9.8s, and we have another 9.8. And this one is a Daredevil 227. Kingpin discovers Daredevil's identity. 9.8 with that awesome Daredevil custom label right there. Didn't see a lot of custom labels today, but then we ended with one right there. There you go, guys. There you go. 2 boxes of CGC goodness on this Halloween night. Guys, thank you so much for popping by. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing. Do have a really fun and exciting Halloween night. And we'll see you back here again probably the same time next week, Tuesday evening. So maybe mark that off on your calendar. I'm going to try to be very consistent with Tuesday night unboxings. And that's it. Happy Halloween. Take care. See you again very soon. And because there was no chat, leave me your comments in the comment section below. Remember, it's my birthday, so be nice. Leave me some nice messages on my on my comment section there, and let me know about the books you saw tonight. What'd you like? And are any of these books on your hit list? Are any of these books you are looking for? Let us all know in the comment section below, guys. Take care. Have a great night, and see you again very, very soon, right here on the Comic Doctor YouTube channel. Bye for now.